ghost when we start this loop on repeat. Hear my chest, how it beats when you put your hands on me. Time goes fast, but yet so slow. I leave all thoughts, yeah, I let them go. 'Cause I'm here with you, and all I need is you.
Well, good afternoon, my friends. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I am back with another video here in Tirana, Albania, as promised, because my last video was just a first impressions where I was basically just in awe of the city. I didn't give you guys the really concrete information of things to see and do if you yourself come to this city. So that's exactly what today's video will be, where I really want to give you guys a good idea of things to see and do here in the city, some amazing restaurants that you have to try out, and of course give you an idea of how much things cost as far as accommodation, food, transit, all that fun stuff. So I hope you guys will find this video helpful, because I genuinely am shocked how few people I've heard talking about this city before coming here. It has definitely been one of the highlights of my trip so far, and I don't want you guys to miss out. So for those of you who haven't heard of Tirana before, it is the capital city of Albania. It is in the central part of the country, and it has a population of approximately 400,000 people. I think one of the things that I've really enjoyed about being in Tirana is that it's such a relaxed sort of city, especially considering the times that we're currently living in. Overall, the locals have been incredibly welcoming, and I've also been surprised at just how modern of a city it is. If you're coming here for the very first time, I would recommend staying in the center, just because it's not a huge downtown and it's nice to be within walking distance of everything, so you don't have to take taxis or their slightly confusing bus system. The reason I say it's confusing is because you can't just punch it into Google Maps, you kind of have to do some research online. I'd say that if you're within a 20-minute walking distance of the main square, which is called Skanderbeg, then you're good. It is also in the downtown core of the city, where you'll find a lot of Tirana's main attractions. One of the most popular is, of course, the National History Museum of Albania. This is a really great place to go if you yourself don't really know much about Albania, how they came to gain their independence, the very dark communist period, and of course where they are now. But speaking of Albania's dark communist past, you will see so many bunkers not only in Tirana, but also all over Albania. This was the doing of the slightly deranged communist leader that they had, Enver Hoxha, who constantly thought the country was under attack, so he spent a whole bunch of money to build bunkers literally all over the country. And if you are interested in learning more about the communist period in Albania, I would really recommend visiting the two bunk art museums. This is the second one in the center of the city, and then there's another one by Dashti Express. This is obviously a very dark time in history, but I think things like this are important to learn about, so we can hopefully learn from the past and never repeat these types of mistakes. So one of the main things that I really love about Tirana is that it has all these beautiful, colorful buildings. It is such a scenic place to just walk around in, and it actually really feels like an artist city. You know, if you were a photographer or a videographer or just an artist that wanted some kind of colorful inspiration, I feel like this would be a perfect city. But speaking about being creative and following your passions, I would really like to thank Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions of people come together to take the next step of their creative journey and learn more about the things that they're passionate about. Skillshare offers thousands of inspiring classes for creatives like design, photography, illustration, and even the business side of being a freelancer and managing your own company. So let's say you're going on a big trip and you want to learn how to take better travel photos, or let's say you want to be a better Instagram husband. There's actually a really great course that I myself took by Dale McManus. It's called iPhone Photography, How to Take Pro Photos on Your iPhone, where you learn some really unexpected tricks to make your shots really stand out. Another great thing about Skillshare is that it's curated to help you learn as easily as possible. So that means there's no ads on their platform, they're always launching new premium classes, and if you get their annual membership, it is less than $10 a month. So in partnering with Skillshare, I have a fantastic offer for you guys where the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium. This is a fantastic resource for anyone who wants to take their passion to the next level or just ignite their creativity and have some fun. So another place where I feel Tirana really shines is their restaurants, cafes, and also some pretty good shopping. There is literally an endless amount of amazing cafes and restaurants, so I'm just going to list a couple of my favorites for you guys. This place right here absolutely blew my mind. It's called Tartuffe, which means truffle in Albanian, and they made these amazing like avocado toast Benedict with shaved truffle on top, and it was so good. And if you wanted something more traditionally Albanian, the best place that I've found so far is a restaurant called Oda. This place had absolutely delicious dishes for a very reasonable price, and also surprisingly had a very good selection of vegetarian options for anybody who is curious, because Albanian is still a very meat heavy sort of diet, but this place had a lot of different options. Artigiano is another favorite, mainly for Italian food, but they also have some fantastic salads, really good wine, and their pizza is actually pretty tasty as well. And lastly is a restaurant called Salt, which I really should have filmed more of the inside of, but they have a great range of things, whether you want sushi, really nice steak, burgers. It has all the classics. I was working here one night and the staff here is really, really nice. And lastly, just because I mentioned that the shopping is very good here, I have to share with you guys my favorite mall, which is right in the center of the city. It is called Taptani Shopping Center, and this place is like 6 floors and designed in such a beautiful way. I absolutely love the Christmas decorations that they had all over the place. So if you just needed a one-stop shop for whatever you could possibly need, this would probably be the easiest place for foreigners to go, and it was just really, really beautiful. Now, when it comes to how much things cost here in Tirana, Albania, of course, that is going to depend on your tastes, the level of comfort that you feel you need when you're traveling, because not everybody's going to be okay with a hostel. Some people don't want to spend crazy money on a 5-star hotel, so it all depends where you land on that scale. So I will try and give you guys a very general idea of how much things cost based on just my own spending. So when I first arrived here, I had shown you guys where I was staying. It's just a really nice, simple Airbnb that I have all to myself, very central, and I am paying $20 US a night. Looking on Airbnb, most of the other apartments are a bit more expensive, kind of in the 30 to 50 range. If you were thinking of staying at more of a 3 to 4 star hotel here in the center of the city, that will for sure run you more on the $40 to $50 range a night. Now, as far as food goes, that has basically been my favorite part, where you can eat at so many amazing restaurants for literally under $10. And all in all, as far as attractions and all the other costs go, it really is all very budget friendly for the average Western tourist. So my daily budget on a whole, if I have my apartment to myself, let's say I'm eating out all of my meals, taking public transit and seeing a couple of attractions, my average day would cost around 50 to 60 American dollars. You guys know that that's the average budget that I try and stick to everywhere I go, so thankfully here it has been fairly easy. But if you are on a much tighter budget, you also could make that work. Like if you stayed at a hostel, you cooked a couple of your meals and you went to more local, not so fancy sort of restaurants to eat out, you could easily get your budget to like 25, 30 American dollars a day. So no matter which price range you fall into, I think this city is an incredibly budget-friendly option for the quality of the experiences that you are getting here. Like, it's almost unbelievable how amazing it is for the price. Now, my absolute top recommendation for a day trip that is still technically in Tirana, but it is to take the Dashti Express cable car all the way up to Dashti National Park. This is said to be the longest cable car ride in the Balkans, and it did take a good 20 minutes, but it was absolutely beautiful. And once you get to the top, there are so many things to do, whether you want to go hiking, there's activities for the kids, a hotel with really good restaurants. On the top floor of the hotel, there's actually a beautiful outdoor deck where you can get an amazing panorama of the city. And then there's also a sky bar which spins, like it actually rotates very slowly, but if you're there for an hour, you'll find yourself on the other side of the restaurant. So I would absolutely recommend checking out this place. One last weird thing worth mentioning is that Tirana has a pyramid from communist times. You're not allowed to go to it right now because it is in the process of being built into this, which looks super cool. So I don't know when this is going to be finished, but maybe by the time you guys come check out the city, this amazing pyramid will be built, so make sure you don't miss it. So that is it, my friends. This brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some ideas of things that you can see and do here in this amazing city. Once again, a very big thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. I'm gonna have that link in the description because the first 1,000 people will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium. And finally, to close off this video, I'm actually gonna leave you guys with some beautiful footage that I shot of the lights here in the main square. It's absolutely gorgeous at night. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for tuning in as always, and keep being your own kind of beautiful. Bye guys.
Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Oh, Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Not only green when summer's here, but also when it's cold and drear. Oh, Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Oh, Christmas tree, such pleasure do you bring me. Oh, Christmas tree, such pleasure do you bring me. For every year this Christmas tree brings to us such joy and glee. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, such pleasure do you bring me. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, you'll ever be unchanging, a symbol of goodwill and love. You'll ever be unchanging, each shining light, each silver bell. No one alive spreads cheer so well. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, you'll ever be unchanging. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, you'll ever be unchanging.